How much do you think you need in order to live in Dubai? Do you need $10,000, $30,000, $100,000? Well, whenever I mention to people that I myself live in Dubai, they think, oh my God, you must have 10 Lambos sitting in front of your villa, pool, everything, right? Everyone must be so rich, like raining money. And it's not really like that. With any place, there's up and lows, or up and downs, right? So what I wanted to do, I wanted to go through the reality of actually living in Dubai, how much you actually need to make on a monthly basis, whether you're doing want to live there alone or with family. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna split it up into 3 different tiers, just so you get an idea where you can get started and what you can aim for, right? And just to be very transparent here, I'm not gonna sit here and we're not talking about sitting in a mansion and having 10 bathrooms. I'm not talking about that lifestyle, right? If you wanna see that, wrong video. But let's get into the reality of living comfortable in Dubai. So most Muslims, like I said in the beginning, they ask me, once they realize I live in Dubai, isn't Dubai expensive, right? But I would say that's the wrong question. The right question, I would say, is which version of, you should ask yourself, which version of Dubai are you planning for, right? So to make it very clear, if I haven't already, Dubai isn't just one lifestyle. It isn't driving a Lambo down the street. I would say 3 different worlds. Depending on how you enter it. Especially if you want to be a Muslim and live in the West, who lives in the West, right? And want to make a move and want to live in Dubai comfortably, right? So let's break it down with tier 1. So this is what I would say, the survival, to get started. You come solo, it's just you, no family, no nothing. You can rent a room, you use the metro, you cook your own food, and you limit going out. No luxury, just enough to stay. So I would say you would need around, looking at the numbers, $1,500 up to $2,000 per month for this. So 5,000 to 7,000 AED per month. Now, it doesn't mean that you're gonna live in front of Burj Khalifa, right? Obviously, you might need to pick some areas that are more affordable in this tier. The cool thing is Dubai is a very small city. So no matter where you live, you're always gonna be close somewhere. What you wanna do, you wanna strategically pick a place where there's not a lot of traffic if you have to commute, right? But then the metro is awesome for that, right? And they're building out a lot and making it much easier to go around the city. And this is, by the way, great for if you're a student, if you're coming to study, if you're bachelor, you live alone, or you just want to explore, maybe stay in Dubai for a few months, whatever, explore if it's the city for you, right? And honestly, you could even do less than that if you live outside of Dubai. Dubai is not a country. Most people make that mistake. It's the United Arab Emirates. So there are different Emirates. So Dubai is just one of them. You have Sharjah, you have Ajman, you have Ras Al Khaimah, you have Abu Dhabi. Many different Emirates you can live in. Some are more cheaper than others, right? But the thing is, what I want to say, especially in Dubai, because that's what I have most experience in. If you're not disciplined, the city will chew you up fast, because it's a very high pace, high tempo city. So you need to, there's a lot of competition. It's not a city where you go and make a bunch of friends. It's a city where you are tested. And no, it's not a city where it's just haram. That's just not the way it is. Sure, there are areas where there are tourists and they are doing their stuff, right? Doesn't mean that you have to hang out there. Majority of areas, a lot of Muslims live there. You hear that all the time. Like it's in many areas are very beautiful. Along Barik. So that's tier 1. But for those of you who might want to have a family, right? Let's take a look at tier 2, which is like the stability tier, right? So you come here with your family, or you move with your family. Let's say you have 1 or 2 kids, not a big family. You want to live in a 2-3 bedroom apartment. You either have a used car, second-hand car, or rental. I would recommend to rent. I love renting. I think it makes you extremely flexible, and it's easier to anticipate expenses in that way, unless especially because the thing is, you want to make sure that all the money you're getting, you're putting it into vehicles that's going to move you, not vehicles in terms of car, but areas of life. Invest in yourself, your education, or other types of investing to move you further, to upgrade yourself, right? So you don't want unnecessary expenses to eat up that part of the budget, right? So you have either a second-hand car or rental. Your kids go to a decent halal school. The cool thing, the best part is, there are very cheap ones, like purely Islamic school. They're actually more cheaper. Rather, the tuition is it's cheaper than the regular private schools where you would find the normal, where the Western, people bring their kids to. But this really depends on what you want and can afford. The range is very big. It can range from 15,000 dirham to 40,000 dirham per child per year. You can divide that with 3.7 to get the dollars, but you get the idea, right? So this is maybe I don't know, $3,000, something like that, less than that maybe. And you shop wisely, you enjoy halal restaurants, everything's halal anyways, and you live a clean, comfortable life, right? This is a good life, especially if you have a family. I would say you would need between 3.5 grand to 6 grand, and this is around 13,000 to 22,000 dirham per month. And this is what I would say most Muslim families aim to land, especially if you're not a big family. But here's the catch, many Muslims tend to forget, underestimating what stability actually costs. Like I said in the beginning, the trick here, I would say, is renting as much as possible. That will remove a lot of unnecessary headache in terms of repairs, maintenance. If you live in a rental apartment, something breaks, right? If you have a good landlord, they will fix that for you, right? We once lived in Dubai Asset Management property, in a property owned by Dubai Asset Management. It was very easy. You had an app, something was broken, you just tap, make a request, maintenance request, then they came in an hour. Very, very nice. And it costs nothing, right? Now, if you would own the house, you would have to gather, to be fair, it's not that expensive, right? And if you own a house, you probably have that money anyways. But I'm just saying unnecessary expenses, right? Because you want to put all that money to what? First of all, provide for your family. Second of all, invest in yourself, in your own education, in improving yourself, getting new skills, whatnot, right? Now let's look at tier 3, the abundance tier. And here's where, funny enough, I'm keeping these, by the way, numbers very humble. I'm trying to make the numbers very humble, because I see numbers being thrown left and right, and I'm like, bro, what kind of life are you trying to live, Because once we talk, to be honest, if you're making 100 grand a month, $100,000 a month, you wouldn't watch a video to see how much Dubai cost. You've reached a level where you don't really you're not there. You're at a whole different levels. You're not thinking about those things in the same way, right? But tier 3, abundance. You live in a villa or high-end apartment. You can live like very central in Dubai. I wouldn't recommend that. It's not a place for Muslim anyway. You got your own gym, maybe home gym set up, or you have a nice, very nice high-end halal gym. You can travel. You give sadaqah freely. You eat clean, nice. Maybe have a, it's very popular there in Dubai to have these food companies delivering ready-made meals, very healthy ones. And you build your dream lifestyle, basically. Your kids in top Islamic schools, your schedule flexible, your work is online, and you don't just make hijrah. You own your life after hijrah. And I think this is really important. And this is achievable. Like you can start here at tier 1, right? And just trying to get by, and then you get here. I would say you would expect to earn at least $8,000 to $15,000 a month, at least, depending on location and lifestyle, obviously. But at that level, when you earn this amount, you kind of like, you got what you need, basically. Like now it's just like, okay, you want bigger, cooler, better. That's it. But you have a really good place to live in, a good transportation vehicle. Like, again, I think it's really important for us Muslims that like to be thankful, to be grateful for what we have, and not always chase more. More is not always better, right? And the thing is, look, a little reality check here. Most Muslims don't plan for this. They save for the flight, getting there, the visa, whatever, but not the life after it. Moving without a strategy is the worst thing you can do. Moving without an income. Because even if you have savings, within months, you're going to be burnt out, you're going to be stressed, and you're going to head back. Now, I always recommend, if you want to, but I don't know, should I take all these steps, not knowing if that's the place I want to be in? Obviously, you gotta explore, you gotta check things out. Alhamdulillah, we live in a world where you can travel very easily. So I would say, I always recommend people, Muslims, go there first for a few weeks, and don't make it as rent an Airbnb. Don't go to a hotel. Try to live, replicate a life there, even though it's very hard in a short period of time. But make sure that is the time you check out areas, you get to know people, hear what they think about it, so you can pass a judgment, or how do you say it? You can make a decision based on actual tangible information and experience, if that makes sense. And this is why MRR matters, monthly recurring revenue. Because if your income is locked to a 9 to 5 in the West, it's very difficult to sustain any of the tiers I just went through, no matter how cheap it is to live. Because eventually that, whatever money you saved up is going to run out, right? Unless you have $1 billion in the bank, then, while you're watching this video, right? Just buy that one-way ticket. In Mahajimo, the community we have, we're not just talking about the move. The move itself is easy, right? It's just logistics. It's about the life after that. So we talk a lot about how can you actually stay. And look, if you're ready to make that move or make it happen, join the community. It's free, and you're going to get a bunch of tools that are going to help you to develop the skills so you can become independent and eventually, hopefully, reach an abundance, being blessed by Allah to have abundance in your life. And this is just, a video about Dubai, obviously, which is one of the many, many places you can make hijrah to. I live there, so that's why I talk about it. But if Dubai is not your cup of tea, I know some people don't like it, pick another place, right? It's the same strategy. You just gotta find a way to remove yourself from a 9 to 5 that traps you in the West, right? And then obviously also getting in shape physically, spiritually, mentally, because you got to be ready. There's going to be a lot of hardship. Allah going to put you through to test you, right? Because hijrah is an act of worship, one of the greatest acts of worship. So if you're ready, and when you're ready to make a move, join the community. It's free. Link down below. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum.